I'm a Canadian writer living in Hartford. We hadn't been here long before we stumbled across Courtyard Arts, and there was just something about that building that filled me with curiosity. I wanted to know, what was it about? How did it start? So I decided the best way to get to the bottom of a story was to go to the source. So today I venture down to Dorset to Swanage to visit with Karen Delaney, one of the founders, to get to the story of Courtyard Arts. So how long did it take?
I think we saw the building in 1994, and then we had to persuade them to let us have it, and that took a while, about a year.
Right.
That's still the front door, and then I think it took about another 9 months, a year to do the building work.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
It had been used as a stable for the big house across the way.
Yeah.
When we cleaned out upstairs, the ceiling was covered in hibernating butterflies, and I was told that's where the staff would go, maybe the stable lads would go. And it hadn't really been changed. The council had used it as storage, and then it was used by, I think, the Parks Department. I was in there, we'd sort of almost done most of the work, and I was in there with the plumber. We were the only people on site, and suddenly on the pipes came this.
Oh,
and he heard it and I heard it. There was nobody else there. It wasn't air in the pipes because the pipes hadn't been filled yet. There wasn't any water. And both of us thought the same thing, you know, who is this sort of...
Well, that had to be a friendly ghost.
It was definitely, it wasn't malevolent.
Like
so it was a prankster.
Pranks.
And then that became the gallery, so we built a wall there. So that became the ceramics, which Sue Mortar would do, and that's a picture of her. It's where they put the new door in, but it's in the same hole as before. That there is the door that Sue was standing next to. We took one of the hay bale things out the stables, and that's now used as the planter outside.
Right.
And
left the
sinks.
two that are inside still.
They're in situ. Yeah. So I said, leave those, yeah.
So when you were doing the work, did you do most of it yourselves? Did you hire? How did it all get done?
So there were certain things we could do, but health and safety and all that sort of thing. Couldn't do anything structural, so we couldn't take down a wall. See, at the time, one of the problems was that there were very few evening classes in Hartford. The assumption was that if you wanted to do something like that, or Ware, you go to college at Ware, you had to go somewhere. Yeah. But you had older people didn't want to travel, who had to rely on public transport. So let's have a look. Oh, it was Annie. She was closely involved from early days, Annie Tappenden. This was a project that I organised. We built a castle in the courtyard. This was one of the summer activities. No, it was a group of people called themselves Black Art, and we built this castle and then got the kids in and they decorated it and strung flags all over it. There's Fred again, 1994. This was literally only days, I think, after I saw the building. Okay. So it was improvisation in the room on the right hand side. Okay. So that's September 94. So there's me. I can't remember all the names. It's Heather. I can't remember all the names but these are councillors. One thing I can remember, I was at home once with my family. I think it was in the afternoon, and suddenly there was we heard this noise outside, and it's Peter Ruffles on his little scooter, and he had this funny little crush helmet, really old one, you know, with had leather flaps. And he'd just come straight from a council meeting, and he said he felt he had to tell me that we got the money. So this is a dinosaur footprint. He's got his toes there.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And then we've got bits of the equipment from the quarries that I find in the fields. And this is quite interesting. This is a candle holder that would have been kept in the cave. They made these little troughs to put their candles in.
I know by trade you're an archaeologist, but what part of you is the artist?
I got into it because of Courtyard, I suppose. I was interested in art before, but I think it was the practical side of it that I found at Courtyard. And then when I came here, you can't help but be inspired. And I always have my mobile on me, so I'm just out and about, you know.
Full of inspiration.
Yeah. This picture here I did, it's based on sort of some medieval stone that was found in one of the quarries.
So how did you do that, though? Like, how did you create that?
This is the simplest of programs on your computer, something called Paint. It's just scribbling on on a computer and then fill in the colours.
Right.
So that's about the shale, and that's just slabs of stone, and that you find flint tools in the area, because of course there were people here for eons.
Beyond the digital, and you fiddled and you doodled and all of how you're really making this not a big deal. But when I look at what you've captured here, I just have to ask you, where did it come from then?
I don't know. I think we've got it in all of us.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of finding it. I think it's the opportunity to find it that makes the difference. I think we can all see these things, and I could show somebody how to do that. And I think the Courtyard was part of that process. We all shared ideas, or we shared skills.
Yeah, inspiration.
So, inspiration, yes, or making you look at something differently. This thing about not looking at it as a big picture, but looking very closely. The hayfield up there, it's a high species meadow. The particular geology around here, recognised by Natural England, is registered as a rare species breeding habitat. So this is the shepherd's hut. I've had this, I got this I suppose a couple of years after I moved here. I'd heard about them, I had the opportunity to get it, and it's all been done out inside, and people can stay here.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely quiet spot. I've had writers come here. The gardener over there at the moment, he's a musician. He stayed here and he composed a piece of music while staying here. Other people have written poetry in there.
I could finish my novel in there.
Exactly, that's the sort of place that, you know, wedding couples use it as a wedding night, and it's
Perfect.
Decorated.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So it's lovely. Yeah, I get a lot of comments about that. People come back just the odd night. There was a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions.
Who helped you along the way?
Sarah Cope, young mum, 2 kids. Sue Morter, who's a local art therapist, worked at a local hospital and freelance. Julie Scarr. Various people, Stuart and Jane Hillen, Caroline Eyre. So there's a little body of us who had different interests, different skills, but I think it was a sort of dedication, realisation that I think that was what made it work. We had to prove that we meant business, and I think that was it. I think we got the message over to the various local authorities.
What sort of obstacles did you encounter while you were transforming the building?
Disbelief, I suppose, is a simple one. People thought that, you can't do that, it's too big a job, look at the state of it, where are you going to get the money from?
And how important do you think an arts venue like this for a community is?
I think it's incredibly important. The initial ethos was that it would be a means of well-being, I suppose, relaxation, a common interest, way of getting people together through art, and all sorts of art, not just visual arts, but drama, literature, all sorts of things. I think art as a means of finding yourself and also communicating with others is very valid. It's lovely to know that something that I started, along with others, all those years ago, is going from strength to strength. I get a good feeling about that, and I'm sure the others do, so I wish them all well.